Hi everyone, welcome back to Spooky Crime Time. I'm so glad you're here with me. Today I've got a collection of some of the creepiest, most unsettling, and downright bizarre videos I've stumbled across on the internet recently. I've actually been meaning to make this video for a while now, but I kept finding more clips to add. So this one ended up a bit longer than usual, but trust me, it's worth it. Alright, let's not waste any time and let's dive right into it. Okay, so this first video, I just have to say it up front, in my personal opinion, a lot of so-called scary videos from like India or like Asia in general, like the Grudge style videos, they don't always come off as super authentic, but this one actually freaked me out. If you've seen this floating around online, let me know what you think about it.
पागल ही चुड़ैल लेवल लड़की तो है बे आगे थोड़ा चल 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 बे 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 चल ना कुछ होते बे रिकॉर्ड कर नहीं रिकॉर्ड सामने मत लेके जा बे.
So these guys are just riding around on their motorcycles and they come across this incredibly slender, almost unnatural looking figure. They start filming it, and when it turns to look at them, whether it's a person or something else entirely, it's straight up unsettling. Paranormal or not, it's creepy as heck. This next one is a dash cam video from a truck driver. He's driving along a dark stretch of road when he suddenly spots something up ahead. And without hesitation, he does a complete 180. Watch this.
My mistakes are one.
Huh?
My mistakes are one. I think I see lights. Oh no, that's just street lights.
Okay, that's a bit scary.
Yeah,
That's a bit scary.
that is very scary.
That's
Alright, my traction control just came on.
yeah, that's no good.
There's no one behind.
What the fuck was that, dude? Some dude is sitting in the middle of
That's
fucking
right.
road.
Why the hell is there a guy just sitting there?
That fucking creeped me out, like.
It's still kind of creeping me out though.
And then part of me wants to just go there and find out.
Nope.
No.
No,
thanks.
Something's wrong with my traction control, check system and everything's on.
You got two lights on now.
Fuck man.
I suggest you chill first.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe the person was suicidal.
I think it's just. I mean, he's definitely out of his mind.
Check
Is it-
system.
You want to stop and start the car again?
Nah, it's alright. Oh, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's like reverse too fast.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, what would be an ass is the car don't start.
Here's another dash cam capture, and this one's bizarre. There's what appears to be a figure like a human-shaped light running directly toward the vehicle. The driver quickly reverses and the figure stumbles and then it darts off into the darkness. I honestly have no idea what this could be. So this next video actually went viral a while back, but it's worth revisiting. A driver's dash cam catches what looks like a ghostly figure off to the side of the road. So in that footage that we just watched, there's also a strange bright light off into the distance. And at first glance, I thought it might just be the reflection of headlights bouncing off of a sign or something metallic. But the light doesn't behave the way you'd expect a reflection to. It stays perfectly still when it should be shifting. Really eerie stuff. In this next clip, a security officer is patrolling an abandoned health facility when something unexplainable happens. While he's doing his rounds, the officer doesn't seem to hear the voices or noises picked up by his equipment, which is something you'll hear about a lot in paranormal investigations. People won't notice anything in the moment, but when they review their footage later, they catch things they miss completely. A classic case of that happening right here.
I'm working in a old urgent care that just got shut down. It got shut down before the freeze here in Texas. I'm not sure why it closed down, but it's pretty spooky. I'm supposed to be looking for a leak in here. This bathroom, creepy hallway. Real spooky place. Another bathroom. This is a second two-story building. This used to be the elevator shaft right here. I guess we're taking the stairs. I guess meditation class used to be upstairs. Had to put your shoes in this little cubby. After some further investigation, there's no one else in this building. I've heard someone go down those stairs, though. So, I guess this was the meditation room. There's a lot of natural lighting in here. Probably don't need the flashlight right now. Here's the top of the elevator shaft. You can't see anything down there. So, here's the meditation room. Kind of looks like the back rooms. It looks very culty. There's a stage up here. It looks like a couple of altars next to them. Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the here.
In this next video, a woman's about to back her car out when she notices something odd in her rearview mirror. She checks outside her window, but nothing's there. So she starts recording, explaining what she's seeing in real time to confirm that she isn't losing it. And honestly, I don't blame her. Because if she tried to explain this to someone without proof, people would probably think she was making it up.
I understand this is probably going to sound insane or look like a blur to you, but I was crying. I watched this thing move across in my rearview mirror when I was driving back of my car to the front. I could see it from outside and in the mirror. I got out of my car, like staring at me, but if I looked away, I couldn't find it until it was closer. I have never felt fear like this. The hair on my arms was standing up. I was crying on the phone with my mom, waiting for my stepdad to come over because I couldn't believe this is what I really saw.
Okay, now this next clip features Irene Bedard, the original voice actress for Disney's Pocahontas, which you'll hear her mention in the video. She's seen here on police body cam footage, visibly distraught and anxious. And as the officer follows her into the hallway, she suddenly says, "I don't know what that is," referring to something caught on camera that the officer apparently didn't see in the moment, but you're going to see it in his footage, in his police cam footage. So I will just let you watch it for yourself.
When police are called to a disturbance at a residential building, they capture a dark entity on their body cam. The woman they're called to is visibly upset. She was the victim of 17 years of abuse by her husband. On their second call out to the residents, the woman calls out, "I don't know what that is," as if she saw or knew the entity was there, and tries to run past the police. Watch this.
Hi.
Yeah, she just gotta go.
How are you? Do you have your ID with you?
I don't.
What's your name?
Irene.
Irene. What's your last name, Irene?
Bedard Wilson.
Can you spell that for me?
Big Disney princess, just so you know.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
I'm the voice of Pocahontas.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna find me in your thing right now.
Why would I do that?
Because I am a 53-year-old Native American woman who has had enough. That's it. I don't know what that is.
Stop!
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 Alright, so in this next clip, a guy's testing out Apple's continuity camera feature, which lets you use your iPhone or your iPad as a webcam and a mic while connected to your MacBook or your Mac laptop. So he's messing around with it using the photo booth app and accidentally captures something super creepy.
Okay, I'm literally freaking shaking right now. I'm just so freaking scared. I just got finished checking my whole apartment. I just found out, oh my god, I just found out you can connect your camera to your computer that doesn't have a webcam, and you can use your phone as a camera. Okay, so I was on the photo booth app. I was just like, okay, let me play around with it. I haven't used this in forever, and oh my god, I'm so fucking scared. I was taking the photos, whatever, and I was looking back at them, and I saw that there's this black line, and it's because my cabinet opened a little bit, and I went to the next one, and I don't even know why this is lit up back here. You know, this is the thermal photo thing, and it's lit up. So I kept going to the next one, and I swear I freaked out because one, I don't know how it opened, but two, I swear that's a face right there. It's literally I don't understand what that could be. It's literally a face, and I'm I'm freaking out right now. And the next one, the computer started glitching, so it took, I don't know what this is, and then I took a photo. When I realized, it just snapped a photo automatically. But I swear and I've already checked. I checked my whole apartment, and this, I thought maybe it was up this, because this is black up here, but it was on the second shelf. It was not up, it was right here, and there's nothing that looks anything remotely like that. It's so, I don't understand. I don't know if I'm overreacting, or I don't know what to do. I swear that's a face.
Now, I have to admit, when I first saw what he found in his cabinet, my immediate thought was, that's gotta be Artie the Clown. It just felt too bizarre to be real, but who knows, the internet is a strange place. This next video, I'm not even sure what to say. It's kind of sus, but I thought it was worth including. So the guy in this video claims that there's a dinosaur over in front of his house, in a building in front of his house. Yeah, a dinosaur. But if you really believed you saw one, wouldn't you get a little closer to prove it? I mean, you gotta risk it all, right? Supposedly he continued filming inside the abandoned place, but I didn't see anything remotely dinosaur-like. But if you look closely at his footage, you can see something moving behind the trees. So let me know what you guys think about this. I would love to hear what you guys think.
There's a dinosaur in that building. It's trying to get out. But there's a tree blocking. I can only see the head. I saw a mouth like this. I think it's some kind of Tyrannosaurus. Oh, look. Some kind of Tyrannosaurus. Oh, look. There it is. Where is it at? I saw the top of the head right there. I swear. Look, you hear it's trying to get out. Oh, shit. It's a whole Tyrannosaurus. See? Look, there's a head right there. Oh, dang. Hold on, let me zoom in. Oh, look, there's the head. There's the head right there. Hold on, let me zoom in. Oh, look, there's the head. There's the head right there. Look. Look. I told you. Now it's hiding behind that tree, but it's trying to get out. I've been telling everybody that there's been dinosaurs locked up in that building for years. I've lived here for 2 years. I hear the noises at night. And finally, I think it broke the shackles and it's trying to get out of that building. Y'all saw it shake, right? I know I ain't the only one. Boy, get inside.
So I actually brightened this next video myself to see if I could make out an actual human figure, but there was no luck. A nurse working the overnight shift at a nursing home captures what looks like a shadowy figure moving around. Super eerie and creepy. This next video involves a person hearing footsteps coming from upstairs, and as they approach their staircase, the sound of someone or something sprinting down the stairs can be heard. I'll let you decide what's going on here.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
This video made its rounds a while back, but I wanted to include it for anyone who missed it. There were reports of creepy creatures being spotted in sewer tunnels, and this person went down to investigate for themselves, and here's what they caught.
There it is. This is my first time doing something like this.
Now, these next several videos all involve UFO sightings, and honestly, I've been seeing a lot of these lately. When I mentioned it to my daughter, she brought up the Project Bluebeam conspiracy. So what Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory from the 90s that was created by a Canadian journalist, Serge Monast. And the theory claims that NASA and other world powers allegedly plan to create staged events like alien invasions and engineer disasters to destabilize society and bring about a new authoritarian global government. So as out there as it sounds, I have to admit, with the sheer volume of sightings popping up lately, it does make you wonder if they're real or not. But for now, most people just seem curious, like, all right, aliens, we're ready. Come get us. Anyway, here are the clips. Let me know what your thoughts are.
An exploding drone. That is not a drone, boys.
It's on fire, whatever.
It's Harlan's birthday.
Looks like
flash the lights around it. See that little thing's flashing? What is that?
What is that?
Don't look at it. You might die or something.
See the little things flashing above it?
I wonder if it's one of those, the things they let go and they fly in the air.
There's some serious shit going down off the coast of Florida right now, and you're probably going to see a lot of videos over the next couple of days about what's happening. There's a group of whistleblowers, some claiming to be military personnel and sailors, going all around on X, Telegram, and even Reddit right now, talking about how the US Navy, and this is according to them, okay, apparently discovered a huge ship that's underwater off the coast of Florida, somewhere near Daytona Beach. Apparently, whatever this thing is, has sent numerous pulses of energy out and apparently knocked out power to a couple of the ships. This is all being reported by them, by the way, and apparently this thing is appearing on radar and then disappearing off of radar. I mean, there's some crazy shit going down. And now there's objects being seen off the coast of Daytona Beach. Numerous objects, might I mention, that seem as if they're coming out of the water and then flaring out into the sky that look literally as bright as the sun. I've seen these same exact objects appear in the sky over the Gulf of Mexico throughout the last couple of months now. I have no idea what they are, sometimes being chased by what looks to be military helicopters and what looks to be even fighter jets. And that just adds to all the rumors that have been coming out about some mothership appearing out there as well. Now apparently this has been occurring over the course of the last couple of days now, so I went to TikTok and I looked it up, and lo and behold, what do you know? There's actual videos of them appearing over the water, some literally flaring as bright as the sun. I have no idea what these objects could be, but I've seen literally about 200 of them since January. Every single time I try to post a video of them, my videos are always suppressed. So if you live in or anywhere around Daytona Beach, I need you to go outside. I need you to look in the sky and see if you see any of these objects, because I need an explanation real quick.
Planes don't fly that close. Oh my God. What the fuck? What is it doing? Oh, I can't. I can't do it.
They flying around. There's 2 lines now.
Oh, it's flying around it. It's flying around it.
There's 2 lines now.
It's so many of them.
My heart is beating.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me get out for it.
My heart coming out my chest right now, bro. Look, my heart coming out my chest right now.
Y'all, I got real alien activity going on. They circling that it came out of the ocean. That is not a moon, and it is not a sun. It's 10 o'clock at night. I seen it come out of the ocean, y'all. There are fucking ships. I don't know what the fuck these are. They're flying around it. They're circling it. There's one above it. There's one on each side of it. There's one right there. There's one right there. Y'all can't see them. I don't know if y'all see them blinking. Do you see them? Okay, they're going towards that. We seen it come out of the fucking sea. We seen the...
Imagine being on a cruise in the Gulf of Mexico yesterday and seeing this shit.
What in the hell is that? Did you see that? Oh my god! Oh my god, it just went straight to the water. It goes left. Oh my god. It goes left. Hold on. Where'd it go? I still see glowing in the water.
Now, folks that are observing this entire phenomenon witnessed it go into the water, and as you can hear the guy in the background say, it went into the water with no splash. And then the second person, the woman, the second one, I guess a friend, said, I can still see it glowing in the water. So that's a third observable, whereas transmedium, it goes from air to water. Very fascinating. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is probably one of the best UFO videos out in 2025. And if you like stuff like this, I'm always finding some of the best UFO clips and only bringing you what I believe is real. Hit that follow button. I'll see you later. Peace.
So in this next video, a deputy is sharing one of his paranormal experiences while on duty. He encounters 2 individuals who appear to have been involved in some kind of demonic activity. It's a chilling story.
Hey guys, so I have another story for you. This is an older story. I've shared it before. I'm going to condense it down to one video. This is probably without question the spookiest call I've ever been on in my law enforcement career, and I hope it never gets topped. But anyhow, it was several years ago. I was on the overnight shift. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was around Halloween time, so it's already got that spooky season feel. This elderly gentleman who lived out in the country, he drove to town for whatever reason and went to this 24/7 gas station, asked the clerk if he could use the phone to call 911. The clerk, of course, said yes. He calls 911 and tells dispatch something along the lines of like, my wife's missing or she's been kidnapped or something, yada, yada, yada. And to have the officer meet me at our residence. So I go to the residence, and as I pull up and I get out, I don't see any red flags, if you will. Normally in a situation like this, you would see or hear some commotion. You would have something standing out to you. I'm not getting that. It looks very calm, very quaint. I don't know what I'm really walking into at this point. I have terrible officer awareness. I walk up the driveway and I pass his truck, and he hops out of the truck behind me, and as I turn around, he's got a handgun. And he's extremely agitated and upset and emotional at the fact that his wife is missing or kidnapped or whatever it was. So after a few minutes of coaxing the handgun from him and make it safe, I put it on the hood of his truck. I'm like, okay, talk to me, what's going on? And he says, okay, follow me to the house. So I follow him to the house, and as he gets to the door, he says, and I will never forget this, he says, do you believe in God? And I said, yes, I do. And he says, good. And that means you believe in the devil. And I'm like, what the? What? So he opens the door. He says, forgive me for all the candles. He says, that's the only way we can keep it out or something like that. And there's no candles, but yet he's tiptoeing through the living room like he doesn't want to step over these mysterious candles. There's no candles. So as I'm walking in the living room and all the furniture's gone, it's just an empty room. Like, I don't know if they're moving or they just moved in. It's just completely bare and empty. Although at every window around the home, I see a rifle or a shotgun. And I see spent shell casings and bullet casings. And I'm like, hey, bro, what's up with this? And he said, oh, I've been shooting out at these demons outside all night, trying to keep them out from coming in the house. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, well, we're not going to have that right now. So he lets me make all of his firearms safe, and talking to him, trying to figure out where his wife may be. And then we're in this cabin-esque home, and there's a loft, and I see above us his elderly wife comes to the edge of the loft, and she's wearing this white, like, robe, you know, like something Ebenezer Scrooge would wear. A little creepy looking, you know, and she's just standing there staring down at us. And I'm like, all right, she seems sensible. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to talk to her, because obviously he's the issue, and we need to get him some mental health treatment. So I'm like, hey, I found her. And he's like, oh, that's great news. That's great news. You know, he's all excited. He's calmed down now. He's like, she's safe. She's sound. Good to go. So I'm like, we should be in and out in 5 minutes. So as I walk up the steps, I go up there and I talk to her, and I'm like, hey, ma'am, your husband's having some mental health issues. And she's like, I know. And she's like, I don't know what to do with him. I'm like, I get it. You know, boys will be boys, but I'm going to have to take him to the hospital. And I'm like, I'm going to probably need you to help me out and, you know, convince him to go with me. And I think we're on the same page, and all of a sudden she says, am I in trouble? And I'm like, no. Why would you be in trouble? And she's like, well, I'm curious. And I'm like, well, he's not in any trouble either. But why did you say, are you in trouble? Like, there's something not right about how she said it. And she said, well, because I fed it. I'm like, fed what? She's like, I was feeding the devil babies. And I'm like, what? Like, I get it. He's having a mental health issue, but it's very rare, if not impossible, in my opinion, to have two people having both the same mental health issues. And I'm like, run that back again. And she said, I stole babies, and the only way I could keep the devil happy and away from us, because he broke into the home, was to throw them over the loft, because I'm only safe when I'm up here, elevated, and the devil's down there. I throw the babies over the loft or the balcony, and the devil feeds them. Or I feed the devil. But the problem is he won't leave me alone now. He's attached to me, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Actually, I'm going to go back down and talk to your husband. He's the more sensible one. I'm like, I'm never sleeping again. So I go down the steps. I talk to the husband. I'm like, bro, both you and your wife are going to have to take a trip with me to the hospital. And he is now freaking out. He's trying to run outside. I don't know why. I'm trying to wheel him in. I'm like, dude, I don't want you to go out there. It's pitch black. It's the middle of the night. Like, what is it out there that you need to do? And he's like, I need to get the devil away. I need to get the devil away from my house. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the devil is throwing the babies into the fire. And I'm like, what? And he said the demons are dancing around the fire and the devil is in the middle and he's throwing the babies in the fire and it's making the fire bigger and I have to go put out the fire. And I'm like, bro, come back to reality. There is nothing out there. I am looking and it is pitch black out there. And he's like, oh, you messed up. He's like, you just pissed them off. They're all looking at you now. And he's like, oh, they're running over here. They're running over here. And I'm like, well, shut the shades. Like, I shut the shades and I'm like, now I'm wigging out. And I'm like, all right, look, we need to come back to reality. Luckily at that time, another deputy shows up. The ambulance shows up. We both convince them to go to the hospital and get some mental health treatment. They do the same thing at the hospital. The doctor's like, I'm going to send them away and hopefully we can get this fixed. They went away for a few days. They came back and I never dealt with them again. I never had to go to the house again. Sadly, I did hear that the elderly lady later passed on a few years later. But to this day, I've never had a call where both people were suffering from the same delusion. And in my opinion, there was something extra sinister involved there that's beyond what medicine or therapy could solve, if you will. But I want to know your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Okay, so have you guys heard of Dr. Paul Robertson? He was supposedly a marine biologist who claimed to have proof of mermaids. When I tried to dig up more information about him, there wasn't much on major search engines. Some sources claim he passed away from a long-term illness, while others say he was a fictional character created for a docu-fiction film. I honestly couldn't be surprised if it's one of those things meant to blur the line between fact and fiction. But if you know more, drop it in the comments. Either way, here's the footage.
Mermaid caught on camera in 2013 on Animal Planet channel.
Oh.
We're with former NOAA biologist Dr. Paul Robertson and joined by Dr. Torsten Smit. He was the lead geologist on a submarine crew that recorded on March 6th of this year the astonishing footage we just watched, and I'd like to start out with some reactions. Dr. Paul Robertson.
I'd really like to see what's on that second camera.
I'm glad. I think we all do. Our viewers at home, too, would like to see that. We're going to show you that right now. Let's take a look.
Oh.
Dr. Robertson.
No, sorry. Can we play that back, please?
Can we get the footage of that back up there? Can we, in fact, why don't we take both cameras, first and second sync, and let's roll them together. Can we do that? Take a look again.
You got it.
Dr. Robertson, is this the creature that you and your team found in South Africa?
From what I can see here, yes. The body recovered was incomplete, but based on the remains that were taken from us, it looks like the same species.
Dr. Smit, what did you think when you saw this and when you filmed it at the time?
Well, I looked at it and I just knew I was looking into the face of another intelligence, another species like us.
Dr. Smith, tell us, who did you first show this footage to when you realized what you had filmed?
Well, we knew we could not share it with the duty officers of the expeditions, so we...
Again, you mean the Icelandic authorities who basically said that if you pursue this, they're going to threaten you with legal action.
Exactly. So we discussed it as a crew, and because we are Danes and Greenland is a part of Denmark, we thought we could go to the Danish authorities, so we did.
I'm going to put up an article here, and this is just remarkable. Please take a look at this. This is Greenland's response to what the Danish authorities shared with them. The government in Greenland issued a total ban on all new drilling, all new oil exploration, and this was just announced on March 27th of this year, 2013, and all of this in response to the footage that you and your team shared with the Danish authorities.
Yes, that's right.
We have a map of this area. Can we put up the map right now? Yeah, I mean, this is near where you filmed the encounter, is that right?
Yes.
Seems like a vast area. That's huge.
It's actually the largest natural park in the world, and also a coastal preserve for marine mammals. And I think because of our footage was taken near that area, then there was a lot of concern about the disturbances to this habitat and what that may affect to the animals.
This next video is seriously creepy. I actually didn't spot the apparition at first glance, but I guess I already spoiled it because I'm showing the picture, but there's a woman in the video who explains it perfectly. Check it out.
You know a photo is seriously creepy when a podcast tells you, hey, stop listening to the podcast and go take a look at this photo. This is exactly what happened when I was listening to Radio Rental. This woman was telling about this photo that she captured that was really strange. And in the middle of the podcast, the producers interrupt the show and go, pause and go to the Instagram and look at this. So this woman calls in and talks about her experience when she went to Hawaii to run a 100-miler. Apparently, she's been doing these 100-milers since she was 14. She was now 35 when she was doing this in Hawaii. I mean, honestly, I thought that was the terrifying thing. The fact that she's running 100 miles voluntarily, and then the one in Hawaii, you had to run it in 36 hours. 5 laps, a 20-mile loop, and they call it the Hurt 100 because they had ankle-breaking terrain. Also, when it would rain, it got really, really slippery. But she emphasizes she has never not finished a 100-miler. Her boyfriend couldn't go with her, so she brings her best friend along, which was a great thing because on the 4th lap, she was having some problems. So she asked her friend, hey, come run with me, keep me company. And by this time, the runners have really fallen off. So most of the time she's running alone. It's just her and her friend. And it was really early in the morning and the sunset was rising and it was really beautiful. So her friend, who is a photographer, started taking pictures of this beautiful sunrise. All of a sudden, she experienced a sharp pain in her foot, enough to make her stop. She thought maybe that she could just power through it, but she could not. And it wasn't only her foot. She said everything in her body was telling her to stop, 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 stop. And she said it wasn't really about the pain in her foot. She just said everything in her body was telling her, you can't finish, you can't finish. She started feeling nauseous, and eventually she pulls out of the race. Her and her friend go back to the Airbnb, and her friend is sending all these beautiful shots to her mom. Her mom then messages her and goes, who's that person running in front of your friend? And of course they're like, there was nobody. It was early in the morning. Most people had dropped out. So they decided to look through their pictures, and here's what they saw. So this is the shot that her mom was talking about. As you can see, she's right behind her friend who's running, and ahead of the trail is something that they did not see while they were running. And as you zoom in, you could see more detail. Now it kind of looks like a person. It doesn't look like a fellow runner. And even more terrifying is the live shot. See how this person just kind of comes up from the brush. When they posted it, a lot of people say it is the lore of the Night Marcher. I don't know too much about the lore of the Night Marcher in Hawaii. If you do, please comment and also tell me what you think. What did they encounter? And is this responsible for the heavy feeling that she was having about not continuing the run?
This next video proves that sometimes living people are scarier than any ghost story. Enough said.
Do you? No. You said you gotta make sure you got an animal or something? Yeah. Go ahead. See the room? What, this one? Yeah. Okay. What's that for? Oh no, it's to block the door and it swings open. Oh, gotcha. Let me just knock on the door for me. Dorothy? She's laying on her bed. Hey, Dorothy! Where's your bed at? There. After you. You got any lights here? Yeah. You got the lights on? I guess you can pay a bill. Oh. Hey, you just go in there for me? Yeah, no. What do you mean? She's right here. Oh. She's right here? Yeah. Dorothy? Is she sleeping? Yes. Okay. How long has she been sleeping for? Like since 6. What's the bag for? She wets the bed. She wets the bed? Why you gotta cover it like that? Because of your rain, we'll open the window and stuff. Okay, you pull the cover back for me? Dorothy? Why is she covered up like that, her face? She's sleeping. Alright, just step back for me. Is it Dorothy? Miss Dorothy? Dorothy. Why she got flowers and stuff on her like that? Okay, step back. Step back. She's dead. What do you mean she's dead? She's dead.
So I Google mapped the location in this next video and it's legit. Now, some people tried to debunk it by saying it was just a homeless person messing around, but honestly, that sounds like a convenient explanation, especially considering how around the time underground tunnels were being exposed in LA, Diddy's mansion mysteriously burned down during the wildfires. Kind of sus, if you ask me.
Please watch this live screen recording. This is my own screen recording. I just took it about 4 minutes ago. Do you guys see? It says LAPD, it says federal, and obviously help a million times. It's on Google Maps. Anyone can go look it up. Wow.
In this next video, the guy is explaining the tragic story of Christopher Tompkins, a 20-year-old who vanished in Georgia on January 25th, 2002, while he was working on a 4-man surveying crew. He seemingly disappeared without a trace.
Okay, so I've been covering the missing 411 and just, strange people disappearances in general. And I don't have time to set up the camera and get everything going, but I wanted to just go ahead and hop on. I really want to get this case out. So I've been looking into the case of Christopher Tompkins, right? So 2002, and this man Christopher goes to work, and shortly after his lunch break, he's heading back to the job site. He's a couple feet behind his other coworkers, right? And they're walking back in a line. Suddenly, Christopher just vanishes off of the face of the earth. And his coworkers stop, and they're looking around, and they're like, well, okay. They don't really find anything. They go back and they report it to the job foreman, and he reaches out to Christopher's wife and says, hey, your husband's gone. It looks like he walked off the job site. And she's like, that's strange. I haven't heard from him. So a couple hours more go by, and then she reaches out to Christopher's mom. At which point, the wife and Christopher's mom, they go together to the job site and they find some very, very strange things, okay? So they find one of his work boots just on the ground, next to a bunch of spilt change, and on a nearby barbed wire fence, they find a piece of his pants, just torn off. It's as if he ran away, as if he took off one single boot and he ran away through the barbed wire fence, threw all of his money on the ground, and ran away through the barbed wire fence, right? They file a police report, and the police come out with bloodhounds. They don't find anything, and the police reach the conclusion that Christopher must have just left of his own volition, okay? That's where the story officially ends. A year later, a mile away from that site, they find his other boot buried. It's like in a swamp type area, right? What happened to this guy? I hate to say it, but we as a society, we love to obsess about missing people in the moment. And then after a couple weeks, after a couple months, the group of people that focuses on what occurred, what really happened, gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it gets into crime talk, and then people look into it a little bit further. But then we never really get the truth in a lot of these cases. We don't get answers a lot of the time. And it just shocks me, as a society, that a lot of us are okay with that. A lot of us are just fine with these things happening, and we just accept the fact that someone completely and totally is gone, and we'll never know what happened to them. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's sad. And I really wish it would change. But I'm covering a different case for the 411 every single day, and I also cover urban legends and true crime, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, check out my page, and I'll be posting in tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.
What I appreciated about the guy covering this case is that he isn't okay with how society lets cases like this fade into obscurity. It's a big reason why I started Spooky Crime Time, to keep these stories alive and bring attention to cases that deserve more awareness. As for Tompkins' disappearance, while anything's possible, the circumstances just don't add up. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. You're a real one. This final clip is truly unsettling. And if you stuck around till now, give this video 3 thumbs up and drop your favorite color in the comments.
Nobody ever believes me when I tell this story, but this is by far one of the freakiest coincidences I've ever experienced. I honestly get why people don't believe me, because it sounds like a creepypasta or some shit. You know when you were a kid and you would be at the park or at the pool and you would meet another little kid and you would become really fast friends and you would play together for a few hours and then never see each other for the rest of your lives? Well, my sister and I are almost exactly a year apart, so we always had joint birthday parties. And when I was turning 4 and she was turning 5, we had a joint birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. We lived in a really small town, so this Chuck E. Cheese was easily 30 minutes away from our house, if not more. So we're at Chuck E. Cheese, and we meet this little girl, and I really don't want to use her real name, so I'm just going to call her Sally. Sally was my age, and she was there with her aunt. And me, my sister, and Sally became the best of friends. We were just having a hell of a time at Chuck E. Cheese. I remember just rolling around in the ball pit and having a hell of a time with this little girl. One thing I remember specifically is that her aunt came and got her so that Sally could go have her picture taken in that photo booth thing, where you would get your picture taken at Chuck E. Cheese and it would print out and it would look like a drawing. I remember that specifically because I remember being damn, I'm trying to play, what are you doing? And I remember Sally running up to us and showing us the picture, and then we went back to playing, right? Well, we left Chuck E. Cheese, we never saw Sally again. Over the next few years, my sister and I, every once in a while, we would even bring up Sally and be like, damn, I wonder what Sally's doing. I wish we could have gotten her mom's number so we could, set up and play together, Flash forward a few years, my grandpa passes away, and my sister and I go to the cemetery with my mom because my mom needs to go buy a burial plot to bury him. And the cemetery where we buried him is the cemetery for our small town, right? I have a large cemetery. It's really old. It's kind of creepy. It's like a Civil War cemetery or something, I think. But it's in the middle of nowhere. My mom, and I think my dad was there too, they were talking to this cemetery guy who's walking around, giving him a tour of the cemetery, and my sister and I, we're just fucking around doing our own thing. We're walking around, we'd gone pretty far from my parents at this point, and then all of a sudden, my sister stops dead in her tracks, and she's like, oh my god, it's Sally. And I'm like, Sally? I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about?
She points, and I look over, and she's pointing at this headstone. This headstone was one of those engraved headstones that has a photo on it, and I look at it, and it's the Chuck E. Cheese picture. I got the chills so bad, man, and I was like, there's no way. Like, I was just in disbelief. We showed it to my mom, and my mom was like, oh, I don't know, there's no way. But we went home and we Googled it, and Sally and her aunt had died in a car accident on the way home from Chuck E. Cheese that day. And honestly, it kind of gives me the creeps just thinking about it, like.
So after hearing this woman's story, I had to look up the case myself. The only incident I could connect it to was the Taconic State Parkway accident in New York. I wasn't even sure if there were small towns nearby in New York. It turns out that there are. So the story involves an aunt taking several kids to Chuck E. Cheese before a tragic wrong way crash that killed them all. And if you dive deeper, it's actually, it gets creepier. So I found out that there's an HBO documentary called There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane about this incident, and it blew my mind. It's just eerie how these stories can line up sometimes. And that's it for today's spooky crime time. If you enjoyed these creepy clips, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know which video freaked you out the most. As always, thank you for watching and stay spooky, my friends.